Deco has just revealed the reason behind signing Dani Olmo instead of Nico Williams. He said, "Dani Olmo gives us more options rather than signing one more winger. He's the player we were missing." It is shrewd from Barcelona prioritising a certain profile they don't have, someone who plays in between the lines rather than a very tempting and promising Nico Williams. See, Barcelona have Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati as wide players already, and Deco says that Fermin and Olmo can both play there too. So the decision to prioritise Dani Olmo as the big signing for the club this window is something I completely admire. In Barcelona's attempt to take a chunk off their sizable debt, they have activated financial levers in recent years and sold things like domestic television rights and a stake in Barca Studios, their production company. This funded €150 million worth of signings in 2022. This meant that they couldn't necessarily splash the cash like they have done before, and instead have had to opt for more clever signings. In 2021-22, they bought in Ferran Torres for €55 million. Now, whilst I wouldn't say this is a shrewd nor successful signing, I can see the vision. He was 21 at the time and had been looking promising under Pep, scoring from central positions. But that transfer window, we should actually focus on those further down the list, the free agents. It saw Depay, Aubameyang, Eric Garcia and Aguero join for free. Now, the team has come in leaps and bounds since then, but at the time, these signings certainly did the job and were very much successful for Barcelona. Depay was great for Lyon in his spells there, and Aubameyang had been instrumental for Arsenal the season previously in their road to renaissance. 2022-23 they spent big, subjectively, buying Rafinha for €58 million, Koundé for €50 million and Lewandowski for €45 million, all of whom are nailed on starters a couple of years on. Successful signings, and in comparison to the state of the transfer market with fee demands, not quite overpaying. Lewandowski was in his last year of contract though, so maybe they could have saved there. But again, it is the free transfers where you really see the astute recruitment. Andreas Christensen was a starter for Chelsea and has featured greatly in the years since joining Barca, and Marcos Alonso and Frank Kessie did the job for the singular season, the latter demanding a nice profit when they moved him on the next summer. They spent just €43.5 million last summer, with their staple signing again for free. Ilkay Gundogan was an excellent acquisition, in theory. Yet personality differences and want of player meant that it hadn't quite worked out, and he has returned to Man City this season. It was a low-risk signing on a free transfer and featured heavily, and therefore would not be deemed a failure. Vitor Roque was the main investment for €40 million, and it hasn't looked great so far, but he is literally 19 and has a great deal of time ahead of him, and an exciting loan move to Real Betis, which could ignite the potential Barca saw in him. A signing you can't really pass judgment on just yet. In the last 4 seasons, Barca have spent €328 million on player acquisitions. They have completely revitalised their team, and when you realise that they spent just over €300 million in 2019-20 alone, then that sheds an impressive light on how their recruitment strategy has evolved over recent years, albeit forced financially.